Avengers.
Hello Avengers, our final battery guide video has arrived with Miss Marvel. I'm going to talk to you now about using her light combo finishers for battery mixed in with her range attacks, so you can create a battery build with her melee and range. She doesn't have heroics that naturally produce status, but with the gear you can still make her ultimate produce a very strong status with Embiggen. Before we begin, one last time recap. The battery effect is a combination of a positive and a negative status. So if an enemy is fully affected by a positive status, you hit him with a negative. If it's fully applied on negative, you hit it with a positive. The positive status are Vibranium, PEM, Plasma, and Cosmic, and the negative ones are Shock, Cryo, Gamma, and Sonic. Now let's talk about the build I used for the beginning of this video to take down Maestro. Now for this one of my main pieces is this one, the Hive Mind Bands, because I went for a melee build. So this will be the piece that I will use to produce the big damage out of the boss for my Embiggen. So what you want to do is that if you want to use Embiggen as a status attack, you need to have light combo finishers produce a status. In this one I have Cosmic. On top of that, I have a Cosmic Potentiator, which will increase the amount of status application I will do to 20%. Additionally, with this piece I can also produce status with a heavy power attacks. However, they are not as effective as the light combo finisher with Embiggen active. The Hive Mind exotic gear pieces drop from the Mega Hypes. Now my second main piece for this build is the Adept Buff Armlets. This one will be the one that we're going to begin our status effects, where I'm going to apply with range attacks shock status, and at the same time while I'm hitting weak points I want to trigger this damage buff, which is the adept buff. Ideally you want to get a target buff because you will have more percentage chance of triggering the damage buff, but the adept buff is another second option. Once I get both things active at the same time, then I can go all in and activate my major artifact, which is the damage booster Northstone of Little Will, and I go full Embiggen and attack with my light combo finishers. Now another key thing about this piece is that I have might stats, which will increase my overall melee stats, and it helps also on my defense for the resolve. Now here I have a chest piece, the Hive Mind Tunic. Now this one's not really that special when it comes to perks, however, having a Jarvis barrier is still pretty handy if you're playing a melee focused character, because when you're working with melee builds, you are more likely to get shot or hit by enemies, you're more vulnerable, so having those type of defenses like invulnerability buffs and Jarvis barriers can really help you on those situations, so it's a nice bonus to have. But the other great big thing about this piece is that it's giving me Valor stats and Might. And those are great stats to increase your overall ultimate ability of Embiggen, which is our big damage focus on this one. On my fourth slot, I have the Apex Blitz Insignia, which again with Valor and Might stats. The perks on this one don't really mean much to me, I just simply went for it because it has really good handy stats that I want for Valor and Might. If you happen to get a Potentiator for one of the status applications that we're using on the other slots, then it's a great alternative to put here, or a piece that has good perks for your heroics as well. In terms of artifacts, I went Might focus because I want to make sure that melee attack is really strong for her. This particular one is great because it has increased critical hit chance with light combo finishers, so if you manage to trigger that, it will make the damage even greater. And this is great for Embiggen because the status attack that we're doing during Embiggen is a light combo finisher. And in terms of the second one, this is just to increase our overall charge rate of the ultimate ability, which is the Embiggen. Essentially, our build is fully focused on the ultimate Embiggen. So for the skills of Embiggen, I recommend that you choose this one, the Big Trouble, which extends the duration of the Embiggen ability by 5 seconds. This will give you more time to make the most out of an active damage buff or a status application, because sometimes you can get interrupted, and getting to the part of the light combo finishers themselves during the combos of Embiggen can take some time. So giving you these 5 seconds will be very handy for you. And secondly, you want to do this one. You want to do Fist of Fate, which increases critical attack with 30% more damage while Embiggen. You definitely want to increase your overall damage when doing this ultimate ability, as this will be a big damage focus, so this is a great one to have as well. The rest are pretty much you decide if you want to have more intrinsic, if you want to have more heroics to constantly activate your abilities. But these two are the main essential ones if you really want to use this as your damage output. And on the champion system, like other characters, I recommend you go for the tactical boost columns, as they increase your overall critical chances, critical damage dealt, status damage, and if you're lacking a little bit on defense, you can also boost up your defense a little more. But I don't think with Miss Marvel you have too much trouble with that because she can heal herself. So you can always risk a little more your defense because of that. Now, other things that you can consider with Kamala is that she can grab enemies and apply status while she has them grabbed. And you can basically create a range build for her with that in mind. The only problem with that is that it's not effective for boss battles, which is usually the big damage outputs that you're going to be dealing with. But it's just another way for you to produce status. If you want to check out another build video for Miss Marvel, you can check out Revealingtoomuch build, who is a full-on Miss Marvel main and can teach you a couple of things on how he builds the character himself. So check out the link to that in my video description below. And that's it for battery building with Miss Marvel. Hope this guide has been helpful for you and all the other ones as well. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them below. Remember, these guys are like not the ultimate definition. At the end of the day, you choose what style of gameplay you want to go, whether it's range or melee. I just want to show you the different ways that you can produce status with those characters and give you an idea of some of the strong builds that you can make, but you can achieve them and make them even stronger than what I am on these build videos. I'll definitely be updating and making new videos of this when new characters arrive as well. So, see you next time, Avengers!